Hi, my name is Dylan Carey, and today is April 8th, 2025. I am going to start by sharing my screen. And the first thing I am going to show is my concept map. Here it is. I just did my concept map as kind of a fill in the blank of retina communication. So starting from light hitting your eyes and then how when the brain starts to process that light into visual perception. So basically how light becomes vision or what we see. And below here, I just have a word bank of the possible options to put on this little concept map. And the answers to this concept map are at the end of my slideshow. The topic I chose was the anatomy and physiology of the retina. I mainly chose this topic because I am pursuing optometry school. I'm applying in July, and I currently work at a practice. The picture I have shown here is my retina in my right eye. I took this picture this June at an optometry camp. And my sources for this whole presentation is from our textbook, so I cited that. And then all my image citations are underneath each image on the slideshow. The retina is the light-sensitive layer of tissue at the back of the eye. It acts like a camera sensor and converts light into neural signals that are sent to the brain via the optic nerve. And here again is the picture of my retina, a healthy retina. What is the structure of the retina? Well, for starters, the retina is a layered neural tissue at the back of the eye. Photoreceptors will detect light. Signals will then travel through bipolar and ganglion cells, and then the retina will perform initial processing before sending the information to the brain so we can see or create a visual perception. The picture I have here on the left kind of breaks down the parts of the retina, showing you where those bipolar cells are, the ganglion cell, um, and their cell layers, and then kind of shows you where in the anatomy of the eyeball that the retina is located. Signal transmission in the retina. First, photoreceptors will kind of detect the light, or the light will go through the photoreceptors, and then the photoreceptors will generate electrical or graded signals. Those graded signals will go to the bipolar cells, and then the bipolar cells will relay and modulate the signals. Then the signals will go to the horizontal and amacrine cells, and lateral inhibition and contrast enhancement will occur. So contrast enhancement kind of form kind of like when you are editing an image on your phone and you increase the contrast, it kind of makes those images, I don't want to say clear, but a easier to see and to kind of distinguish the differences in different objects that you are seeing. And then the ganglion cells will convert the graded input to action potentials. Again, I just have a picture here on the right, kind of showing you the photoreceptors, the horizontal cells, bipolar cells, amacrine cells, and the ganglion cells. I really liked this picture. It really helps me get a visual of what it looks in here. Um, so yeah, and then on the left, it kind of shows you again where those are placed um, back in the retina. Then the neurocommunication pathway. Ganglion cells basically equal the optic nerve. They are just kind of a collection cell axons, sorry, excuse me. Ganglion cell axons are the optic nerve. It's just kind of a collection of them there. The pathway goes from the optic nerve to the optic chiasm to the thalamus or the LGN to the visual cortex. And the neurotransmitters utilized here are glutamate, which is the excitatory neurotransmitters, and GABA, which are the inhibitory neurotransmitters. Again, to the left, I just kind of have another picture showing the retina. Kind of gives you more of an idea how light comes in and is directly is put into those photoreceptors at the start and then to the bipolar cells and then the ganglion cells. And I really like this image because it gives you a visual of the direction of light and the direction of the neuronal communication. I have this section kind of in there, honestly, to highlight the importance of going to your optometrist and getting your annual exams. Most times at annual exams, they will take pictures of the back of your eye or do a dilation. Um, these are both Optimat, or these are all Optimat pictures of the retina. The first one is a picture of glaucoma. I believe, yes, glaucoma. And glaucoma is just ganglion cell damage, which obviously causes signal loss. And if you look, you can see that optic nerve is very enlarged. The second picture in the middle on the right is a picture of macular degeneration in the retina, which leads to central vision loss. This is typically age-related or it can be genetic. Most cases it is genetic. And as you can see, there's just spots all along the retina. This can be due to a lot of things, a lot of diabetic patients or patients with high blood pressure. Um, their retinas will look like this. And the bottom right picture is a picture of retinal detachment in the retina. This is a disruption in layer communication. As you can see, you you can see kind of a lift in this retina in the layers. And these two, the middle picture and the bottom picture, are in the right eye. And the optic nerve in these pictures both look pretty good. The retinal detachment, you can obviously see since that layer is disrupted, that it kind of gives like a cloudy effect. And then lastly, I just have the concept map answers. And I just kind of wanted to touch on each slide, I mentioned how that communication went through each section. I wanted to give a brief overview of it all together. So first, light, and then it goes to the cornea, pupil, lens, and then finally to the retina. And then the retina, it will go to the photoreceptor layer or the back of the retina, and this is where your rods and cones are located. And then the photoreceptor layer will generate graded potentials. Those graded potentials will then go to the bipolar cells and then to the ganglion cells, which will generate action potentials. And then the action potentials will go to the optic nerve, optic chiasm, to the thalamus or the LGN, and to the visual cortex. And there the brain will process visual perception and will give us the images we see, like how you're seeing this slideshow currently. Thank you.